It is college football bowl season. We have 3 picks for Friday and Saturday slate of action. It's Austin joined by Logan. If you guys been missing us, we haven't done a college football video in a hot minute. We don't really have some picks to recap, but it's been a slightly profitable season. Hopefully we can finish it off with a great record. We obviously are just covering Friday and Saturday's games today, but we will have some picks for the college football playoff games plus the other games on Monday, New Year's Day. And then, of course, we'll tackle the college football championship, which will be a week after those games. But without further ado, Logan, I got nothing else to promote. It's just good to be back doing these college football videos. I'm going to let you lead it off since you have the only pick we are talking about on Friday, and we'll talk about 2 Saturday picks we like. It is all, I do have to actually put this caution out there, and Logan can put there too. It is bowl season. We don't bet on any of the games that have already led up to this because we don't know a lot about the bad teams out there. And we really are just trying to project who's going to play. We have no idea. We're going to try our best. Guys could play one play and then not play. We don't know. We're trying our best to kind of decide who's playing and who's not based on the info we're dealt. But Logan, I'm going to let you lead it off, tackle the first game of the bowl season we're talking about, which one that's going to be.
Yeah, as Austin mentioned, though, the tricky thing with bowl season, the reason why we haven't had a video like every single day is because some of these smaller teams that I'm not as familiar with, I don't really want to project who's playing, who's not in those smaller games. But the reason we're kind of coming out with a video like this and with the bigger time matchups is because these are some of the programs we're more familiar with. And even without some of these starters, I still think we can project a really good matchup. But that being said, let's go to my first pick. As Austin mentioned, we're going Friday, December 29th slate. I'm taking Notre Dame -6, -110 odds on DraftKings, your best value there. Now, I am laying the points with the Fighting Irish. I really do think they're the better team and the better option here because Oregon State, with a new head coach, will be missing 3 starting linemen, 2 of its top 3 pass catchers, its top 2 quarterbacks, and its leading rusher. Right now, I don't think there's any program more in disarray than Oregon State. Unfortunately, with the Pac-12 conference realignment, they're kind of the odd men left out. And you're kind of seeing they're absolutely cleaning house. I'd be shocked if they really can keep up with Notre Dame in this one. Even though Notre Dame Fighting Irish, you're going to be out several key players as well. Sam Hartman, Joe Alt, great tackle there. Blake Fisher and Audric Estime. They're going to be missing some guys on their side, but I just think it comes down to depth. I think if you strip the best starters from each team and you're going to those second string guys, I think the clear option is Notre Dame in this one. We look at it's projected to be quarterback Steve Angeli making his first start for Notre Dame. He's a redshirt freshman, has some experience, played in 7 games, completing 19 of 25 passes, 272 yards, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Not a ton of experience there, but some experience for him. Look, I just think Notre Dame's not going to be idiots, right? They're going to know that he's not Sam Hartman. They're not probably going to drop back 30, 40 times with a guy like this. The reason why I'm picking Notre Dame, and it starts up front. It started up front all year long for them. They showed dominance on their offensive line and defensive line. I expect them to be able to have their way, kind of pushing around Oregon State in this one. With so many opt-outs in this game, I think it does come down to coaching, the mass exodus that's sort of happened with Oregon State. We know Notre Dame, one of the best head coaches, and recruiters and, rah-rah guys, Marcus Freeman. I think he'll be able to coach Notre Dame to a victory in this one. And I see it being by a touchdown or more. I just think at the end of the day, it's Notre Dame in this one. I think their running game's going to be too strong. I think on third down, I don't necessarily think Oregon State's going to be able to get off the field. I'm laying the points with the Fighting Irish as my first pick, but Austin, you have a really good first pick. Where are you going for yours?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the Arizona Bowl, where we're not necessarily seeing the best teams that you've probably ever heard of, but I really like the Wyoming Cowboys minus the 3.5 at -105 on FanDuel. Now, I wanted to get this at -3, but that's way too juiced to like -140. I'm not going to come out here and lay that on a game, but we could see we lose maybe on the hook. But I really like the Cowboys to establish some dominance in this game in the Arizona Bowl. This one is on Saturday. Logan's first pick was on Friday. These next 2 picks, which Logan will talk about the second one in a second, is on Saturday. And like the Cowboys closed up, a very up and down season. It was, they had some good stretches, then some bad, then some good, but they ended up on a good, winning streak, winning their final 2 games against Nevada and Hawaii. Not the best competition, but when you face bad competition, they took advantage of it, and, they outscored those 2 teams 84-15. So dominant showings, obviously. We're talking about 2 teams that haven't played in a hot minute. I mean, they haven't played since November. So you're talking about trying to project how they're going to look after a month off. We never really know, but I think Wyoming will be locked in. A team that obviously takes pride in winning these types of bowl games. It helps them recruit for later on next year and for the years, in the future. I like to bet on a program like that wants to go out there and win these games. And Wyoming has beaten some good teams this year. They've beaten 2 top 25 teams that were ranked at the time of playing them. And Wyoming has, a very good offense. This is a team, you don't put up 84 points in 2 games with not having a good offense led by Andrew Peasley, the QB. He's a dual threat guy, not a guy that's normally going to throw for, 300 yards, but very consistent. Only had 5 interceptions this season. A guy that took care of the football and can make plays with his legs, which is kind of what you're looking for. In a game where you've had, over a month off, some of the plays are going to be broken down. You're going to need your QB to make a play. And he's been able to do that all season long. 20 touchdowns, passing, 7 rushing touchdowns, I think 96 rushing yards in their most recent game. And on the other side, facing the Toledo Rockets, a team that does have, a lot of pride and wants to win this game, but their QB entered the transfer portal. And I don't really know how confident they are in their backup QB, Tucker Gleason, who hasn't thrown a pass since September. So you're getting a guy out there that's really rusty compared to everyone else. And while you can't really game plan for a guy like that, I'm not really too concerned about him. Look, they don't have their QB out there. Their kicker, they haven't had consistency in the special teams either. And this is just a team of the Rockets that just has not played well in bowl season. Maybe they just aren't motivated, having a month off and then having to come back here. They're 1-4 in their last 5 bowl appearances, losing those by an average of 9 points per contest. Look, I'm going to take the Cowboys, the better team in my opinion in this spot. So Wyoming, I need you guys to win this game by 4 points or more. I think they could easily do that. I really like the Wyoming Cowboys, like Andrew Peasley a lot at QB. Give me them -3.5. Hopefully their offense shows up. Their defense could hold down for us. That's my only pick of the weekend. I'll have some more picks when playoff season rolls around. But Logan, what's the second and technically our third pick of the video going to be? Going to a good game. I like this game. I think this one's going to be a good one. Who are you going with?
Yeah, let's go to the Music City Bowl to round out this video. And I'm taking Maryland +7, -124 on DraftKings. Now, if your book has 6.5, we like it there too. But in my opinion, buying the little extra, the half-point hook could be worth it, especially you're not laying crazy juice on this one. Now, again, as Austin mentioned, this one's December 30th, start time 2 o'clock. So you're gonna want to make sure these bets are placed in, because I'm feeling really good about this one. Maryland +7. Obviously, our other picks were a couple favorites. I like the underdog in this one. No Big Ten team had more prolific passing game this season than Maryland. Obviously, they had Talia Tagovailoa to his brother, but he's probably going to sit out this game. It's scheduled, or it's supposed to be. Our research, says Billy Edwards, is going to be the quarterback for Maryland in this one. Now, if you're like, Logan, this is just such a sharp drop off. Yes, he's obviously not as good as Tagovailoa, but I think it's going to be hard for Auburn to necessarily game plan against a quarterback that they haven't seen. The film is out on Tagovailoa, what he does, his tendencies and everything right now. This Billy Edwards guy, for all of us NFL fans out there, it reminds me of Taysom Hill. He's more of a short yardage dual threat quarterback. That's how they've used him, in the past. And I think that's what they're going to use him, as well in this game. I think it's going to really come down to, can, Auburn stop the run? Can they game plan for Billy Edwards? I haven't had any evidence as that. Auburn 81st in rushing yards allowed this year. Their defense hadn't been all that great against the run. Last time we saw that Auburn defense, oh man, do I need to remind you guys? They were giving up that crazy, 4th down play to Alabama, just disgusting play. How do you let that happen? Auburn, Auburn and their fans have gone on a wild roller coaster ride this year, under Hugh Freeze. This is not a program that I ever rush out to back. In fact, I love to fade them, because I think as 7-point favorites, Auburn could easily lose this game outright. Offensively, Auburn has struggled really to develop a consistent passing attack with Michigan State transfer quarterback, Peyton Thorne. I am not a Peyton Thorne fan. If you are, go down in the comments and tell me what I'm missing, because I've watched this guy enough and I'm like, it's just not it. Is Maryland the strongest defense there is? No, but 3 of the Terrapins' 5 losses this season came to Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State. Each of them, were favored by more than a touchdown against Maryland. So Maryland has faced the absolute gauntlet this year. And I just think, Maryland's going to be able to step up. A lot of the times we see in these bowl games, the SEC team is the one that gets all the attention and all the press. Come on, you got to have a chip on your shoulder if you're Maryland. You're like, we can go out in this bowl game. We can play really hard against the SEC team. They are not going to lie down, and roll over in this one. And Maryland has the chance to step up, against weaker foes. Maryland, played really well, winning 8 straight games against teams that aren't above 500. Enter Auburn, who's not above 500. This is not a very good, consistent team at all. I think Maryland's going to be able to run the football. I think they're actually even going to have some passing attack, even if it's short and intermediate. I think they're going to be able to move the chains, and I think they're going to be able to keep this within a 1-score game. At worst, maybe a 7-point push. But guys, if you're laying points with Auburn, I think that's just the wrong side to be on. I think Maryland could easily win this game outright, and I think the Terrapins +7 is a really good bet to make in that one.
Yeah, Logan, I agree with you. I mean, we both were on the same page there. That could be a very interesting game. Maryland obviously faced that gauntlet of a schedule. Auburn, how motivated will they be in a bowl game after having that dramatic loss to Alabama? I have no idea. I mean, it's college football bowl season. There's a reason Logan and I have avoided the majority of games, but we have a lot of ranked matchups this weekend, so I figured we'd tackle these ones. And obviously, we will be tackling the college football playoff games, which is on Monday. So you'll probably see a video from us probably on Sunday evening. I don't want to quote that, but probably sometime Sunday we'll post our favorite picks for those games, which are going to be doozies. We got some fun ones for that. But Austin, Logan signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's have a 3-0 Friday/Saturday, and we'll see you guys back in college football bowl season as well as in some other videos. Also, if you're a big Logan fan who's in the P.O. Box video, I'll put the video up over his face. We had some fun opening some stuff on the second channel. Austin, Logan signing out. See you in the next one. Peace.